What is the future going to look like? If you ask Americans, the next 50 years are going to be filled with scientific advances that mostly make our lives better, like, say, being able to grow new organs in a lab. Those are the findings from a new Pew Research survey. Joining me from D.C. with more details is Lee Rainey, the director of the Pew Research Center's Internet Project. Thanks for joining us, Lee.
Hey, Sarah.
Now, I want to dig into some of the findings of this study because everyone wasn't so excited about all of those technological advances. Let's take wearables like Google Glass, for instance. What did people have to say about that?
Well, we asked if it would be a good thing or a bad thing for society if a lot of people were walking around with devices like Google Glasses that were feeding them information constantly about their surroundings. And most people are kind of creeped out by that, especially women. They're not too sure that this will be an enhancement of their lives, and they're sure that there are ways that it might come back to bite them.
One of the things that also surprised me from this study is 63% of people said they weren't excited about the possibility of using drones for personal or commercial use. Why is that?
I think there's a couple of things going on with that. The first is that there is a palpable sense that technological change is proceeding so rapidly that humans haven't been able to adjust to even what's the reality now, much less the things that are around the corner. So it's partly, I'm not even sure I've mastered the current technology, and thinking that there are going to be things flying around my house and my head and my business, I'm not sure that that might be a good thing. I think there's also sort of a worry about stalking that might come from that, and just sort of how will it work? Will these devices be able to separate from themselves in the sky? So that's part of the story there.
Now, almost 40% of people that you guys surveyed think our future is kind of going to look like Star Trek, that we might be able to actually teleport. What's your take on that, Lee? Is teleportation in our future?
Well, when we got a call from our friends at the Smithsonian Magazine about the issue that they're putting together, and actually is on the newsstands now, about science fact and science fiction, this was the obvious first question to ask, because they were interested in how the future is going to unfold, and we were interested in how people were thinking about it. And it turns out that there's actually some lab work that's being done in the quantum physics realm, where parts of atoms are being moved from one place to another. And about 39% of people think that scientists will have solved this problem. I think this is a sort of Star Trek wish list item for lots of people.
All right, Lee, we're going to leave it there. Thanks very much for joining us. Really interesting study.
Great to be with you, Sarah.